All right, Joel Gausten here from
I'm perfect.
joelgausten.com. You are perfect, Rick. You're perfect. What the audience what the audience doesn't know, but we'll reveal right now, this is take 3 of the intro. So
Yeah.
So I was gonna say I haven't seen Rick for a long time, but I've been seeing him for several minutes at this point. But to give Rick a proper introduction, I'm very pleased to welcome my friend, Rikk Agnew. Rick, thanks for coming on, man.
Hi. That's for the 3 take.
Right, take 3. But now the rest of this is all going to be fresh for the most part. So we'll take it as it comes. But well, I'll tell you what, man, we could talk forever about all the stuff you've done. But wanted to go on because I know a few days ago, a pretty damn important album you were a part of turned 42 years old. That, of course, being Only Theater of Pain by Christian Death. And I know a couple weeks ago you played the Roz tribute at Hollywood Forever. So there's a lot of Christian Death on a lot of people's minds. So I thought it'd be a perfect time to bring you on and, chat about that particular band. So I guess first and foremost, let's get into the Hollywood Forever shows. I know you played that with your current band Symbolism, which I know was London May from Sam Hain on drums. James, the original bassist for Christian Death, is part of that as well. And I guess somewhat recently you brought in Vincent Price from Body Count as a full-time member, right?
He was talking to James, or James was talking to him, and just kind of popped up, Because I guess, I don't know exactly what happened, but I guess my guess is that Body Count's taking a hiatus or something, a long hiatus, or don't know what's next, or if they're, I don't know. I don't want to say, I don't want to commit myself. But all I know is that it's a good thing because now we have Vincent and he's great. He is, yeah. And then we have Devix, of course, the singer. Devix is amazing. He's going to be the new frontman star.
Fantastic.
It's a good band, man. It's a really, the songs are like, really, it's, yeah, you'll see. Do you have a copy of the album?
No, I got to get around to getting a copy. I got to check that out. I've been kind of slow on it. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
Because you got some cool people in that band. I mean, London's no slouch. He's got a whole history as well. So.
Oh, exactly. It's like a super group. It really is. Not afraid to say that. But it's a super group.
Excellent. So let's talk about Only Theater of Pain, man. You and I have talked about that whole era before, but one thing I didn't know about the history is how you actually got to meet and know Roz in that era. Because I know you came into the band to replace the late John Albert, or Jay, who was there from the beginning. Yeah. Were you gigging with Christian Death? Was Christian Death gigging with the Adolescents? Is that how that whole connection started?
They had opened, when they had Jay, who we called affectionately, he used to call Archie Jay. ask James about that. But they were the opening band out of 6 bands that was headlined by us. And also a band that played after us, we gave them like a little piece of our set. We kind of, cut our set short so we could have this new band that wanted to get some kind of exposure. And that band was called Bad Religion. Mm. It's pretty like, that was some, that was historic time, historic show. And that's
Yeah.
when I first met those guys. When I first met Roz, that's when I first met, you know, it was really, very memorable. I remember just seeing them and just when they played and going like, wow. And they had a bunch of people that was their like followers, their friends that was there. And they lined up the stage with flowers from the cemetery. Like that was the border of the stage because it was at a boxing gym and it was like on this wooden floor, you know, it wasn't like a stage or nothing. Yeah, but it was quite a show. You know, it's sad. And forgive me, other bands that played that night, but I forgot who played besides us and Christian Death and Bad Religion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with
Really
that's a powerful punch. Those three bands on one bill at that time too. I mean, talk about not realizing what's going on until years later. You know how important that kind of a bill was.
Yep. Yep, it's pretty cool. They had what do you call it? Test pressings of the first EP, and they gave me one. I still have it, and in fact, I looked it up on Discogs, and it's actually not as much as I thought it would be. You know, on the market. I thought, oh man, that thing's good. That'd be like $5,000, you know, but it's like 20 or something. I don't know. But I don't deal records like that. I just, you know, I'm a collector.
So let's go back to that introduction with Christian Death because Roz, who was still, I mean, let's face it, he was a kid. I mean, he was what, 15, 16 years old around there.
Yeah, right around there.
A very unique individual from the word go. I mean, he was writing those lyrics at that age. It's kind of unbelievable to think about. What was your impression of him as a person when you began sort of hanging out and working together in the band?
Yeah, I don't know. We just like kind of we didn't talk much, you know, or anything. He didn't talk much to anybody, including his own band. But, you know, we had, you know, when he was best to talk to was like when we were on tour that time with him and Eva, you know, we did that tour and when he'd drink, he was a card. He was a definite card, man. Yeah, he was a crack up. We're waiting for the dun.
I have heard that. He once told me about that, how funny of a guy he actually was away from the peak of it all.
Definitely. When they very first started, Roz had a mohawk and James had his hair all spiked and stuff, and they were more like the Germs. They were very energetic and very punk, you know. So, but then the second show they did, Roz wasn't like that. He was just standing there. He was frying on acid. He's just kind of staring at the floor, you know. Who knows what he was saying, but he didn't sing or nothing. He just kind of stood there and, you know. And then after that is when he started wearing the wedding dresses and stuff. It's a strange progress, yeah. But I always picture him like up there, you know, just totally running around like Darby Crash, you know, because that was basically kind of one of his heroes. Well, actually, he was what they call he was one of the Peg Boys. The Peg Boys used to hang around with Joan Jett, and they had their group of people that would go to the Mask in L.A. And they were kind of like a Leather Boy set, of punks. Yeah.
Excellent. Tom Wilson produced Only Theater of Pain with the band. And obviously he worked on a lot of iconic records, a couple of which you played on. Of course, your solo record, All by Myself, as well as that first Adolescents record. What do you think Tom's greatest impact was on the Only Theater of Pain sessions to make that album what it is?
I don't know. It was like, when I was talking to Tom about doing it, an album and stuff, and then we found out we had like a bigger budget for, at least for back then, that our budget was like, what do you need? And I'm like going, what do we need? I want, okay. And I didn't actually say this, but I'm thinking like, somewhere between like a goth band and the Beatles. I want to be able to, and by Beatles, I didn't mean like how big we would become, as much as just like having the access to all those instruments. I was always influenced by the Beatles because when they use a bunch of different instruments and different sounds and different noises, I love that shit.
Mm.
But then on the other end of the spectrum, one of my favorite bands is Flipper, and they're just like, turn the tapes on, and, I love that stuff. So yeah, it was an interesting band to Christian Death, that is, record and do recordings with. It probably got the album done within a week or something like that.
Oh,
bands
wow.
tended to be quick about it. Usually it was because of the budget, but in fact, maybe it was a couple weeks when I think back on it.
Well, this album, this Only Theater of Pain album, is obviously still revered and loved by many, many people. And as I said earlier, it's 42 years old now. And you guys had this event for us a couple weeks ago.
42 years of 42 years. Is that right?
That is, yeah.
Damn. What we got to do is release a version, because you know how they have different versions of Only Theater Pain, out there, different colors, and the original cover, which is kind of I don't know what color you would call it, but it's black ink, and it was the original cover that Roz designed. Looks just like the black and gold cover, but it's like, instead of gold on black, it's black on sepia tone. Yeah, but now it's 42 years old. It's like, damn, that album is it's getting gray behind the ears, man. And stuff. We ought to do like a silver-haired version. There is a silver and black cover. Maybe that we should re-release that as a 42nd anniversary. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There are very few records that have persevered as long as that one has. Which kind of leads me to my last question about this era, Rick. And obviously the band is still very much loved. Roz is obviously very much missed. Um, you were a part of it, and you were a part of it in a very important time. Why do you think Christian death and this music has survived the way it has, to where it's still very much relevant to people around the world even now?
I think it's because it's honest. It's an honest, it's real. It's real. It was, yeah, I don't know. That's about all I can really say. It's honest. It's real. It's supposed to stand the test of time. Something like that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Why it's great that you guys did that event a couple weeks ago. I'm really thrilled to know that you're doing well with the new band, Symbolism, and congratulations on 42 years of Only Theater of Pain, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a very important record for me, and a lot of people cherish that thing. So, yeah, it's an honor to touch base with you and chat a little bit about that era and that band. And it was way too long to wait to talk to you, man. We'll have to do it a lot sooner than the 4 or 5 years it's been. It's been really nice chatting with you, Rikk.
Thanks a lot, Joel. Nice chatting with you, and thank you for the opportunity to do your show here.
Yeah, absolutely,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Rikk. It's always nice talking to you, my friend, and we'll reconnect again soon.
Okay, Bill. Take care.
You too, my friend.